for me, Bitcoin is going to zero eventually. I have a lot of respect for it. I don't think it has intrinsic value. And the more we go, the more the technology becomes obsolete, therefore it should die. Agao AG AU, Agao AG. Agao has the name from gold and silver, so silver AG and gold AU, the chemical elements. What we do is essentially creating an electronic peer-to-peer money system. So taking the idea of Bitcoin, it's an electronic peer-to-peer cash system, and we believe that that's exactly what it is. The problem with it is that cash is still currency and currency is fiat. We are building money. So for the people who believe that gold is money, and this is, the truth since 6,000 years, then we want to provide that higher quality money or superior form of money using the new technology. And the way we do it is by digitalizing gold to enable peer-to-peer, borderless and non-intermediary transfers all across the globe. I think there is three market forces. One is the systemic situation of the financial markets where there is a need that emerges for higher quality money. There is two camps, either the ones who think that there will be the inflation tail risk and those who believe that there will be the deflation tail risk. Either way, there is an intrinsic problem with monetary policy today, where a lot of distortions on the market, starting with interest rate and then going into bonds and equities, really create a need for better quality money, because currency wars tend to be kind of like a contest of ugly pageants and the ugliest win. So it's a race to the bottom. And we want to create a race to the top. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Gold has been there since 6,000 years and it's been money. We're just making it more efficient, more transparent, more transferable. And the dollar is competing with the yen with the pound with the sterling and the renminbi. We're just putting gold back in there for the people to choose freely between what they consider is better money. So as of today, we are technologically ready, although we are looking for partners to build up the ecosystem and to complete our value proposition. So that includes exchanges to build the liquidity, more family office wealth managers or gold holders who essentially want to tokenize their assets to make it more efficient, and we have a value proposition for them. And of course the funding to scale in order to tackle and go to the market more ready. So we're also looking for VC funds and other people who have the same ideals and want to help us building this small impact into the world. Now that's a very good question, because primarily philosophical. The way I ended up here, I've done 10 countries in my life, and I always say I vote with my feet and I vote with my wallet. I vote with my wallet, meaning where I put my money, and I vote with my feet, meaning where I go. I think Switzerland has the best political system in the world, meaning that for better or for worse, the direct democracy allows different cantons to, by trial and error, figure out the right thing for themselves. There is a true sovereignty. There is certain safety nets where it comes to freedom, privacy, and the direct property of things, the property of your mind, the property of your body, and the property that you have. So I think Switzerland has really this unique regulatory framework where you have the guarantee constitutionally that there will not be confiscation, that people can have freedom of speech, and that people have freedom of entrepreneurship. And that whole ecosystem, and particularly the fact that the executive power is separated from the legislative power, that gives more power to the people. For better or for worse, it allows you to make legitimate mistakes and to learn from those mistakes as people, rather than having some angels who decide for you what's right and what's wrong. I think that fundamentally has something in common with a libertarian approach, and that's also why I believe a lot of the new coming blockchain technology, that with the philosophy that comes with it, is naturally attracted to this regulatory framework. No, I really appreciate what FinTech is doing, because the quality of the people, the hub that is building basically for a network. If you are foreign and a newcomer that you want to come to Switzerland, that's a solution for you. You have an ease connection of all of the other entrepreneurs that do the same. You have people within Switzerland that also give you tips that help you. And the most important part is the synergies, because when you are small, you really find the power into partnering up with all of the other people in the fintech industry. If I need within the vertical integration something to get created over the next 3 years, if there is a company already doing it, a partnership is a natural way to really expand and scale quickly. And I think FinTech Association is really helping in that. The approach of looking at FinTech is always where the technology comes first is military and finance. Mm-hmm. So you need to first focus on the base layer of the economy, which is money and which is finance. And once you start doing that, it will just trickle down to everything else. But you need to have a good sound basis, and I think that's also one of the problems, is that when you look at the blockchain technology, you need a stable coin or a stable meaning of exchange that will be able to build a real economy on top of the technology. Look, I love the idea of Bitcoin. I have a lot of respect for what Bitcoin has created and the paradigm shift it has put into people's mind to question money again. So the only thing is, I believe Bitcoin has many problems. It's a cash system, it's a currency and fiat electronic system. So for me, it's as fiat as the fiat it tries to replace. What I mean by that is that you can copy the ledger. It's not technologically resistant. That means that in 1,000 years the technology is obsolete. Today the technology is already obsolete. So by the same Darwinian principle, Bitcoin shouldn't be in the place where it is. And also, you and I are centralized, so we still need a centralized reference, and it has been gold for 6,000 years. Today, Bitcoin is held by 2% of the holders who have 98% of the total Bitcoin. And it doesn't reflect the track record of history of trade and balance of trade like gold does, where for millennials, countries have traded and settled in gold, and now central banks have this track record embedded in the price of gold today and with the holdings of different countries. Bitcoin doesn't have that, so you cannot migrate that history of trade in it. I love Bitcoin, but I think it's a collectible in the long term, because people will switch to other electronic money systems. I'm all for free competition of money, and I think I'm just another one of those. But for me, Bitcoin is going to zero eventually, or it will be just a collectible. Like I remember back in the days when this currency really started this paradigm shift, and I have a lot of respect for it. I don't think it has intrinsic value, and the more we go, the more the technology becomes obsolete. Therefore, it should die. I think Libra is trying to achieve the same thing as the IMF with the SDR is trying to achieve. So the SDR is the special drawing rights basket of currencies that are run by the IMF. And strangely enough, they usually give loans to countries and they settle in gold many times. So I always say, do what they do, not what they say. But Libra is still a very good idea, centralized, global currency. I think there's a lot of challenges regulatory-wise to be okay with all of the regulations, because they're all legal tenders, so they have to apply all of the framework there. It's a SDR on blockchain. That's how I see it. Well, I just want to mention that we are very open. We're always looking for partners for the community. We're always looking for new ideas. If you are interested in the project, be it an investor, someone who possess assets like gold, or who wants to just contribute to this project, visit our website is agau.io, agau.io, and you will find the report, our philosophy there, also with a special report. Just reach out and join us in this movement.